hand have only pride to play for after their finals campaign last week slipped out the back door. Can the Crocs bounce back and register a much-needed win, or will the young Buffs claim a late scalp? Southern Districts and Buffaloes live on AFL NTV. Huge game for Southern Districts today. They need a win after a couple of disappointing losses, and they take on the Buffaloes. It's a young Buffaloes side in that we can see on paper, and no doubt that they'll be out to register a late win in season 2014-15. Dave Kennedy's my name, and I'm joined by Gray Morris from NT News. Gray, an interesting match, and we've got a cracking match after this as well. Should be a beauty. Both sides keen to win, especially Districts, who were very disappointing last week. Ball out towards the wing here on the grandstand side. Bowden just over the footy. Jared Stokes gathers and then handballs off to Joseph Collinson in towards Ross. Tries to gather before the boundary line. Little tap in front of himself. Did well. Got around Ogden. Had a shot on goal. It goes across the face. Not going to register a score. Jones did well through traffic. Short pass finds Richard Tambling into the side, Gray. Yes, the Phantom has finally played. About 6 weeks he's missed with that back injury. Let's hope he goes well, because the Crocodiles need him firing. And Gray, earlier today we saw a cracking match. Nightcliff and Wanderers played out on TIO in the game before. The final score, Nightcliff 16-8-104, defeating the Wanderers 13-5-83. So 21 points the margin. It was very tight all day. Nightcliff in the end came from behind to win in the last quarter. Wanderers were leading by 3 points at three-quarter time, Gray. Yes, that puts Wanderers' finals chances in jeopardy. They're going to have to rely on other sides losing now, which is not a good thing. Here's Lance Palmer, one of the inclusions into the side, and Dean Staunton, another newish face this season for Southern Districts, goes inside 50 and finds Davin Hall. He goes wide out towards Taylor. The kick wasn't great though. It spills out of play. Boundary throwing inside 50 for the Crocs. But yes, getting back to that early game, David, Wanderers were there quite a few big names, unfortunately. Late withdrawals, which seems to be a common thing in Darwin footy. Certainly does. Willie Farrar tries to tap it down himself. Was there high contact there for the Crocs? Umpire says no. I thought so. Still just letting it go now. A ball up. 2 minutes gone on AFL NTV, and we're yet to register a score to either side. Southern Districts are inside 50. Farrar did well, got up high. Comes out towards Taylor, but his handball is sharked, and the Buffaloes have some running room. They're away now. Wilson takes about 3 bounces and then kicks out wide towards Renahan, who takes the mark. Wants to play on, puts it inside 50 in the Briston direction. It clears him though. Jones at the back takes the mark and wants to switch play for the Crocs. It's a good kick, finds Paper Talk on half back, far side, Gray. Yes, Districts really have to fire today. The final's only 2 weeks away, and they're not playing their best football at all. Even in the early stages here, they seem to be indirect and not finding options, which is a bad sign, David. Clever tap there from Paper Talk. Got it back to Jones. Tried to go over the top there. Wanted McGregor to run onto it. Boundary line beat him. Out of play. Boundary throw in. 3 minutes gone first term. No score yet in this one. Just repeating that news, Nightcliff, the early winners today in the Premier League, defeating Wanderers by 21 points. Districts without their inspirational skipper, Matty Cannard, too, ran foul of the tribunal during the week. Got 2 matches. Yeah, it was a very interesting week for Southern Districts at the tribunal, Gray. What a week. It was a huge build-up to, of course, one of the men that's out there, number 15, Keegan Dingo. And his case, he was staring deregistration in the face, and it was quite the non-event in the end, Gray. Well, it was, and you really felt for Keegan Dingo. He must have spent a very stressful week as he gets the ball. Yeah, good to see him out there. Good to see him getting a handball across, and that kick is a turnover, though. Cut off there by Daniel Courtney, who goes in short, and the mark's taken by Philpott. So this could be the first score of the game coming up through Philpott. The Buffaloes have had the run of the early play. They have, and Philpott normally a pretty accurate kick. If Darwin get away early, Dave, District's going to be doing some chasing, so they won't want the Buffaloes to get a
head full of steam early.
In comes Philpott for the opener. He's dobbed it. There's the first one of the day. It goes the way of the double blues.
And there you go, they're on the board, 1-0-0. It's a shame we can't focus in on the district's coaching bench, because I reckon they'll be gnashing their teeth already.
Yeah, really high pressure times for Shannaruska and his crew, Gray. They've, for want of a better term, failed at this end of the season in previous years, and they really need to fire some punches this year, you'd think, for them to be, labelled a side that lived up to their potential.
Well, that's right. They've had some awful final series the last 2 years. They're going to play finals again, you would think, so they badly need to find some consistency.
Souters over the footy. Whistle.
Hopefully their number 12 there, Richard Tambling, will turn things around, although even he's got his hands on his hips early, which is probably a bit of sign of confusion, though. Being tagged here by Liam Philpott.
Here is Paper Talk from the clearance. Kicks up towards half forward. Davin Hall, very quick onto the footy. Gathers before the boundary line. Did well to keep it in and did well to get it to Willie Farrer. Shot on goal coming up at the other end now for Southern Districts.
Plenty of options there. Will Farrer leading into a space. Took it easily.
Third on the goal kicking table this year, Gray. He's had a pretty good season for the Crocs.
He has. He's missed a couple, though, with hamstrings, so hopefully he'll kick right through this ball instead of just trying to steer it through, which can be a dangerous thing as a forward.
And he comes, sends it on its way, and it's another straight kick. So a goal to Districts, and they level things up at the 6-minute mark. One straight apiece, Southern Districts and Buffalo's all square.
Yes, they needed that, the Crocodiles. They just a bit stagnant early, but a goal, it's a wonder. It's a wonder what a goal can do early in a match, especially one as well worked as what that one was.
Davin Hall involved in that one, and also Willie Farrer, the man that finished it off. So the goal kickers so far, one to Philpott for the Buffaloes and one to Willie Farrer. 6.5 minutes gone. Palmerston versus Tiwi. We're going to be talking about this one a bit during this game as well, Gray. That's coming up after this. And with Wanderers going down, if Tiwi can have a win today, they all but secure a finals berth. They won't be moved, but if Palmerston win, well, it becomes very interesting. Palmerston taking on Wanderers next week, but we'll keep an eye on this one for now. Southern District's defenders do well to get it out through Jones, only as far as Dylan Gordon, though, just forward of the centre of the ground. Just kicks an end over end. Bowden couldn't quite trap it. Stokes gathered the loose footy. Little left foot kick into the pocket, and no mark taken. Might be a free kick, though, going to Peckham Hunter. The umpire saying he was infringed. Quite an acute angle to contend with. Keegan Dingo is just going to protect the space. We might get a shot of that. You can just see him there in the right-hand side of screen. Keegan Dingo protecting that space. In comes Peckham Hunter. From close to the boundary line, he pokes at it, and it just misses to the left-hand side. First minor score of the day goes the way of the Buffaloes.
And they're in front, which is probably more important to them. This very young side on the rise, though, Dave. We're going to look for the Buffaloes in the next couple of seasons, I'm sure.
Well, here's another chance for the Buffaloes. Snap on goal. It's not going to register a score. It didn't make the distance, though. Reed dropped a mark he should have taken, then slammed it into the post. Well, errors all round there.
Bit of over-anxiousness there by Reed. I think he had plenty of time to probably dodge around his opponent.
Here's Richard Tambling. Up towards Dingo. Good contest there. Peckham Hunter did well to win the contest. Then Scraggs a kick up towards half forward. Tumbling ball. Ogden couldn't trap it. Neither could Stokes. Now Tambling goes in very hard. Spills out. Ogden again from the congestion. Up towards Robbie Scanlon. Had it sharked from him by Gordon. Big fly from Reed at the back. Couldn't quite come down with it. Bowden tries to keep it in, not to any avail. And it's a boundary throw-in. Lucky for him, because he kicked it well and truly out of bounds on the full.
Gee, when you're looking at ruckman and sort of tall defenders in your NT News, which will be the team of the year, and that number 21 for the Buffaloes, Gordon, will be right up there. Had a terrific season.
He has had a great season, and you sort of have to think, Ray, that if he was in that Palmerston side where he played some of his junior footy, maybe they'd just have that that key defender that they sort of seem to lack at times. But meantime, play continues. Collinson only as far as Ogden, who goes short, finds Pollock, and then wider still. And the Crocs are away on the far side. Cedric Cox takes the mark. Moves it on quickly up towards centre half forward. Wants Robbie Scanlon to run onto this one. Sean Wilson, though, there to mop up. Liked his season as well. Across to Jordan Wilson King. And now the kick up towards the wing. Livingston got one hand to it, and then the boundary line beat him. Good to see young Jared Livingston into the side, making his Premier League debut.
Yes, it's been a very young competition this year, which is terrific. All sides have given their kids a go.
Dingo over the top to Suter. Kicks to about 40 metres out. Davin Hall's there. Had it punched away from him. Crocs work it well. Cedric Cox inside 50 into the pocket. It's a good kick. Marks taken by Jason Eagle.
Big lump of a lad is Jason Eagle too. Competition. I think it's Mount Gravatt. Had a game a couple of weeks ago out at Fred's Parts and looked a bit short of a run, but he's back in the side this week.
In he comes. Kicks from about 35. No mistakes there for the Eagle. And he bangs it through. Southern Districts 2 straight 12. Buffaloes 1-2-8. 11 minutes gone first term on AFL NTV.
When you have a look at that district forward line, Dave, you've got Eagle, you've got Troy Taylor, and you've got Will Farrer down there. So 3 big marking options. But they need to get the ball down there directly and quickly. Which in Darwin football, as we know, doesn't happen all the time. They tend to chip it around a bit when going long and straight to those 3 marking options might be the go.
Centre square infringement. One of the umpires has picked up on. Free kick going to Districts. Sam Smith to take it. Looks like it. There's some light drizzle coming down here, Gray, so this might make it interesting with the very tall forward line. Willie Farrer flew from behind. Waiting down there is Pollock. Couldn't quite trap it. Eagle through the congestion. Antill ready. There's another tall, Gray. They've got plenty of talls in there. Gleeson was over it, but Jared Stokes emerged and he kicked out wide. Turner wasn't ready for it, but in the end, Sleeth dropped the mark. Turner got onto the loose foot. He just wobbled it towards 50. Ogden has to be clean. He is to Sleeth. Did well. Got the handball wide. Bowden concedes. The Crocs are mucking around with it, but they might come away. Ogden couldn't quite take the mark. Now Dingo. Here's some clear air for him to work into. Kicks up towards half forward. Wilson didn't quite take the mark, but still came down with it. Over the top to Ross. Taylor tries to take it from him, but Ross gathered once again. Kicked up towards the square. Now Jared Stokes. Handball to Briston. Dingo wraps him up. Handball up in the air. Didn't find anyone. Turner out of the congestion. Eldridge had his kick partially smothered. Briston's there. So is Eldridge. He regathers his own footy. Over the top to Dylan Gordon. There's plenty of possessions in there. Not many of them clean. Collinson to Livingston. What can he do? He's under pressure. In fact, the umpire's pinged him. And that's holding the ball. So Districts get the reprieve. And the short kick finds Gleeson. So Gleeson out wide. Taylor couldn't take the mark. Sean Wilson, he's had a lot of it early already, takes it out of play. Sean Wilson, he's been had a really good 5 weeks, I feel. Gray, I reckon he's had a pretty good season, I'll say that.
He's been terrific, the number 10 there for the Buffaloes, a former Wanderers player, of course, but he's been at Darwin now for probably the last 5 or 6 seasons, and he's certainly been an effective running player for the Buffalo boys.
Good work in close there from Cox. But then the umpire says he threw it out. Buffaloes take the advantage. Ross, he's got to look out. He's gone. Caught from behind. Willie Farrer laid the tackle. Pollock pounced on the advantage. Kicked up towards the fat side. Eagle gathered. Went around the corner. No one in the forward pocket, though. There to mop up is Williams. His kick was terrible, though. Gave it straight back. Pollock takes the mark inside 50 for the Crocs.
Interesting then, when Eagle got the ball, he had no teammates around him. I'm sure the coaching staff at Districts would have emphasised that. We need numbers around the ball, boys.
Short pass is good, finds Eagle. So some loose checking inside 50, as you mentioned, Gray.
Yes, and he'll go back and have a shot from about 30 metres, is it? So this should be his... should eat these goals for breakfast. Should Big Eagle. Jason Eagle, as I said, from over there in Brisbane with Mount Gravatt, the Vultures.
In he comes. Starts it left and bends it back perfectly. Another goal for the Eagle.
Yes, they're starting to get the ball and use it well. And that light rain we had earlier, David, seems to have disappeared. I'll be relieved at that, because when the ball's on the ground, the smaller Buffalo boys come right into it.
3 straight 18 Southern Districts. The Buffaloes are 1-2-8. The margin's 10 points. 15 minutes gone first term on AFL NTV. Southern Districts are coming off a couple of disappointing losses, particularly their loss last week to Waratah. Just Waratah's second win of the season. Umpire sends us back into play. Districts win the clearance once again. Richard Tambling. Penetrating kick, Eagle almost again. Comes off hands. Barra's there. Tries to tap it in front of himself. Buffalo's under pressure. Series of handballs. Davin Hall. Now Gleeson. Is there a whistle? There is. It's a Buffalo's free kick. Not sure what for. Sean Wilson to take it.
He's in everything, isn't he, Sean Wilson?
It's a good kick wide. And Briston, geez, he was absolutely cleaned up there. The umpire says cleaned up illegally. Short one to Philpott. Gets around his opponent McGregor there and goes short, finds Eldridge. So meaningful build-up. Livingston in short is the target. Bowden fisted it away from him, and then Tambling gathered the loose pill. Kicked up towards the wing. No mark taken. It comes off hands. Districts have numbers. One of them there is Paper Talk over the top. And they go inside 50. Farah couldn't quite take the mark. But Cam Stokes there to mop up for the Buffaloes. He goes back to centre half back. Dingo flew high. Jared Stokes weighed it down. Handball over the top. Kick on goal from Courtney. Goes across the face of goal. Just a minor score. So Buffaloes a little bit of inaccuracy creeping in. 1-3-9. They trailed Southern Districts 3 straight 18 as Districts work it out of defence reasonably comfortably.
Gee, the Buffaloes have had their chances. They've missed a couple they could easily have got.
Cam Stokes again. Tambling intercepted his handball. Gleeson's there. Somehow managed to get a handball out. McLaughlin. Suter. Sam Smith. McAdam. Under pressure. McGregor. And eventually they work it out. Suter dropped a mark. He had time to mop up though. He's got plenty of options inside 50. Goes in the direction of Jason Eagle. He couldn't take it. McGregor. Cam Stokes. Oh, geez. He's given the high fend, says the umpire. So it's going to be a Southern Districts free kick to Richard Tambling. Just kicks into space and Eagle takes the mark.
Almost like Hawthorn versus Richmond there. Cameron Stokes, the former Hawk, and Richard Tambling, of course, the former Tiger and later a Crow.
Very true.
Their football careers have gone full circle, haven't they, back here in Darwin?
And I guess now we've had the Hawk, the Tiger, and now the Eagle. The East Coast Eagle, Jason Eagle, comes in and dobs it. Another one for Jason Eagle. That's goal number 3 for him. And goal number 4 for Southern Districts.
Yes, he's bulk and size. He's also very quick off the mark, proving a handful there for his opponent, who I'll pick up shortly. But certainly he's going to be a handful, especially if the ball can keep coming down like it did then from Richard Tambling. Lace out. Number 16 is his opponent, actually, and that is Nathan Woodley. A Rising Star nomination early in the year.
NT News Rising Star nominee. It's a difficult task.
He's finding it a nightmare because the ball is being delivered properly. It can be a very simple game sometimes, Dave.
Yeah, if you've got time to look up across 50, find that short option, then you should take advantage of that, and that's exactly what Southern Districts are doing. That bounce is an umpire killer. they call those ones, Gray, when they track the umpire back and the two big ruckmen
loom up, yeah.
Create the umpire sandwich. Back into play. Turner, little one over the top. Wants Hocking to run onto it. That's Caleb Hocking. Can't quite gather. Ogden. Handball underground. Not to any avail. Dylan Gordon in the Briston direction. Oh, the big fly in the end came from Peckham Hunter. Didn't quite come down with it. Some fancy footwork. Then a handball to Daniel Courtney. Then a banana. Just misses to the near side. So another miss for the Buffaloes.
Yes, it's a shame too. Some very good work there by Peckham Hunter, who evaded at least about 4 would-be tacklers, but unfortunately his handball to Courtney resulted only in a behind.
All the behinds that Buffaloes have scored, Gray, it's interesting to note that Districts have made it to half back reasonably easily and comfortably, and once again we saw the easy exit out of defensive 50. Not something that Mark Motlop wants to be seeing today.
That's right, they must contest and they must get numbers. As Districts with a chance here, Dave.
Ogden, can he pick it up? He goes off the ground instead. Eagle almost took the mark. Gathered. Goal number 4 for Jason Eagle. And we're only in the first term.
And yes, you can put that down to his size and strength then. He shrugged young Woodley off, got onto his trusted left foot and popped it through for, as you say, his 4th goal.
Well, Southern Districts, 5 goals straight. The Buffaloes 1-4-10. The margin's 20 points. They've had the same number of scoring shots, Gray, but Southern Districts at the moment, they've got one thing that the Buffaloes don't, and that's Jason Eagle.
Yes, you're right. You've got to have a focal point, even in the wet. Although it's not raining now, of course. But as I said, his size and strength got him the goal in. A few headaches here for Mark Motlop, I think.
Well, if he goes at this rate, Gray, we're going to expect him to kick 16 goals for the game. If he gets 4 a quarter.
4 times 4 is 16. You're right, David. You must have been very good at maths at school.
I was a superb mathematician up until about grade 2 when it started to get more complex than times tables, Gray. Southern Districts inside 50 through Suda. Loose checking here. Once again, should have been a mark there to Dean Staunton. Had it plucked from him by Sean Wilson right at the last minute, and then Wilson takes it out of play. The umpire assesses and then says throw it in. So Districts, they're really starting to build on their early momentum, and they're putting some scoreboard pressure on the Buffaloes early in this game.
Yes, and they're going direct too, which will please the District's coaching staff.
Until ready. Little one, Davin Hall. Underground handball. Now Staunton. Just misses to the near side.
Fantastic to see Dean Staunton back on the side too after a long absence. I'm not sure whether that's injury enforced or employment enforced.
I'm not actually sure whether that was Dean Staunton now, but it is great to see Dean back in after an overseas holiday, Gray.
Overseas, was it?
Overseas holiday.
Well, you really can't blame him then if he's been to Europe and all these wonderful places that we read about. But only the lucky can get there, Dave.
Very true. Back into play.
Or the hard workers, of which I'm not.
I wonder which one Dean Staunton falls into. I'll reserve comment on that one, Gray. Up towards half forward. Willie Farah takes the mark. Eagle just holds his lead. Some test Farah for distance.
As I said earlier, Dave, those marking options I've got up there, it's going to be very difficult for Mark Motlop to cover all of them. He might cover 1 or 2, but the other one's going to get right away from him, I think.
Farah in the end has a ping and misses to the near side.
And one already has, of course, with Big Eagle kicking 4 goals already.
It's interesting. They've got a potent forward line when they click. They just need to click more consistently, you feel, Gray, for Districts to have any chance in the finals.
Certainly, yes. It's all about scoreboards, isn't it, in finals. Scoreboard pressure.
Paper talk. Inside 50. Eagle caught behind.
Here he is again.
He somehow found a way, got the handball off there and dribbled it home. Another goal to Southern Districts. Might have been Davin Hall.
It was number 9, yes. Very adept little handball there by the man himself, the former Vulture, Eagle. Former Vulture in brackets Eagle.
Well,
yes, they're 28 points in front and looking very, very good.
It's starting to really get away from the Buffaloes early. It is a young Buffaloes side. They're missing a host of players, as we can see here. Looking down the list, Matt Campbell, obviously missing. Phil Wills, their captain, missing at the moment. Gray, and then the likes of Daniel Stafford up forward. No Todd Miles in the ruck. We haven't seen him for a long time now. They're missing a number of players, though.
No Luke Clark, we haven't seen for a while either.
Back in the middle. Crocs win the clearance up towards centre half forward already. They're really mounting on the pressure on the Buffaloes. Here's Williams under pressure. Had it taken away. Taylor from the boundary line. Just dribbles it to the hot spot. Willie Farah. Well, and then he took a big dive, and
I think he milked that one.
Jordan Wilson-King has to watch himself here, because although that free kick was questionable, we know that the umpires aren't mucking around at the moment, Gray.
Yeah, it's a very, very not touchy, but very fragile relationship, the umpires and the players now, Dave. I think everyone needs to take a deep breath.
Farah misses, which gives us a chance to address the elephant in the room. A very interesting column in today's NT News, Gray, about the umpires and their calls for AFL NT to protect them more on social media. A really interesting read.
Yes, umpires, believe it or not, David, are human, and the abuse, especially if it's personal abuse and consistent abuse, will wear anyone down, particularly if it comes from the players themselves. And I know for a fact that some players have got involved in that social media pep talk, and it's upset the umpires. It's upset their families as well, which I think is very, very disappointing. Yeah,
that is disappointing, Gray. As you say it, on the field, tempers can fray, but it shouldn't extend off the field. Quarter time here on AFL NTV. Southern District 6-3-39, leading the Buffaloes 1-4-10. 29 points in it. The Crocs are up. We'll be back soon after the quarter time break.
After a hard day's work, you deserve it. When you're catching up with mates, you deserve it. Grabbing a bite with the missus, you deserve it. But drive after a few, you deserve it. A road safety message from TIO.
Every cigarette you smoke inside your car hurts the ones you love. And some of them don't have a choice. The next time you decide to have a cigarette, think about who else you're hurting. Smoking can kill those close to you. For help, call the Quit line.
Do you know a family in crisis? Contact the North Australian Aboriginal Family Violence Legal Service. We provide legal advice, representation, referral services and support to family and community. Break the chains of family violence today. Healing NT Families. For more information, call us today.
For Territorians, the roads are more than bitumen. They connect us. For TIO, it's the same. For taking us on safe journeys, for travelling free, for twists and turns, for turning the corner, for taking you back to health. Road safety for Territorians.
Kmart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Kmart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Kmart Sports today.
Stop heat stress before it starts. Geminex has a wide range of hydration products, including camelbacks and cooling vests, air skis and coolers, rehydration drinks and accessories, all designed to ensure your safety in the sun. For a limited time, purchase a box of 20 Squincher 3.8 litre powder concentrate sachets and receive 2 3.8 litre coolers absolutely free while stocks last. Rehydrate, restore and recharge at Geminex, Winnelli and Pinelands.
Welcome back to TIO. Our apologies for any technical difficulties that we're having at the moment. We are trying to rectify those issues, so we're into radio mode at the moment. Gray will keep the punters going up. Hopefully we should have the vision now. And our sincere apologies from Dave Kennedy, Gray Morris on AFL NTV. Gray, talk to us about this opening term.
Yes, they're very good districts. Got the ball looked up, saw the big frame of Jason Eagle and steered the ball in his direction. He responded with 4 goals. So districts almost back to their best. But this quarter they're going to have to maintain it, and I'm sure these young Buffaloes will throw everything into it.
Here we go, Paper Talk, runs to 50. He sends a long ball in the Eagle direction, but it just got away from him. Once again, our apologies for any problems that we've been having with the vision. It should be working now, and we can see on the scoreboard that it's Southern District 6-3-39, leading the Buffaloes 1-4-10. Back into play. Spills right out the back. Trying to come through traffic there was Pollock out towards Paper Talk. And now a shot on goal. In fact, it goes across the face there from Taylor. Eagle got a hand on it. A diving Eagle. A swooping Eagle. Just couldn't quite keep it in his mitts, and it spilled out of play, Gray.
Yes, ominous signs here from Districts. They're attacking the ball in numbers, and they've got, as you say, they've got that focal point, Dave. So danger times.
Dean
for
Staunton
Buffalo.
paved a way through and banged a sensational goal through.
Yes, that's why he's very highly rated out there at Fred's Pass, and of course with NT Thunder as well. Very smart goal there by Dean Staunton.
Well, starting to get really ugly for the Buffaloes, Gray.
Yes, as I said, Districts are running with the ball now. They've got that confidence up and they're using it well too. The Buffaloes a bit undersized, as you say, without several key players, and I think the Buffaloes, because of their youth, have to have their best side out there.
7-3-45, Southern Districts leading the Buffaloes 1-4-10 on AFL NTV. Paper Talk got the handball. There was a free kick advantage given. Tambling inside 50. Eagles caught behind. Sean Wilson, his new opponent, couldn't quite grab it though. Gleeson comes in and another goal for the Crocs. It's raining goals for the red, white and black.
And who got the ball out of the middle then, Dave?
Richard
Tambling. Barged his way through as good players do. And he went direct. He didn't worry about chipping wide or anything like that. And the result, a goal.
It's interesting, Gray. I spoke to Brenton Toy after Tiwi played Nightcliff. They, of course, lost that second match, and he said that the Bombers are a totally different side in their psyche when Ozzy Wanamiri's playing. Maybe Richard Tambling's that player for Southern Districts. Yes,
it's all about respect, isn't it? The players know that these guys have been to the very top of their trade. And it often corresponds in a game of footy.
Back into play, and Buffs won the clearance, only as far as Dingo though. They've got options on the far side. Staunton's one of them, and also good mark taken there by McAdam.
Yes, the son of the great Gilbert McAdam in crocodile colours.
Short one to Pollock. They're playing with confidence now, the Crocs, in the Eagle direction. Got front position, tapped it down. Here's Davin Hall at the fall of the ball. He's mercurial in these circumstances, and once again he delivers the goods. This time short by foot to Willie Farrer.
Options everywhere in it, and the spread was very good then too by the Crocodiles. Once the ball hit the ground, they didn't attack it 9 or 10 of them. They went wide and gave young Hall an option, and should convert this.
And he comes looking at goal number 2, just puts it to the near side.
I'm very glad I said should, though.
Yeah, it's a bit of a disappointing miss for him. Districts are still well clear though. 42 points the difference on AFL NTV. It's Southern Districts that might have found their mojo against the Buffaloes that are looking wounded at the moment. Wilson King long down the line. Cox flew early, had time to gather at ground level. Then Pollock stood up bravely in the tackle. Kicked inside 50. Farrer let it go through, only as far as Sean Wilson, who kicked it out of bounds on the full though. Free kick going to Pollock once again.
He's been very good, this number 31, from Northern Victoria up Pachuca way, and certainly football is a religion up there.
Pollock inside 50. Hall was there. Staunton's there. Off the ground. Williams. Now Cam Stokes. Renahan. Eldridge. Fumbled and then gathered. Then took a bounce. Runs down the line. Kicks up towards Daniel Courtney, but he's out-muscled. Tyler Jones. Another one of the men from Northern Victoria, Gray.
Yes, and another one gave the ball away then too, Jordan Suter. So District has gone to Northern Victoria to get their recruits for 14-15. Very good ones too.
Lloyd Turner out wide to Philpott. 50. No one home though. Districts should mop this one up. Jones to Suter under pressure. Got the handball away in time though. Crocs out of trouble, at least momentarily. And they're certainly away now. Kick in the direction of Dean Staunton. He can almost kick a goal from here if he gathers. Just couldn't quite gather cleanly. Palmer had a chance to get to it. Now Staunton and Palmer. A good old-fashioned one-on-one. The umpire still calls play on. Staunton got to his feet. He kicked inside 50. Can Paper Talk gather? Yes, he can. Can he kick a goal? Yes, he can.
Yes, they're playing the type of football that we were early in this season, Dave. I think it makes a difference when it's all out offence.
It certainly does, Gray. They're just destroying Buffaloes at the moment, and it's a really rounded performance across the ground. Yes, it is a young Buffalo side, but these are the type of performances that can spur on these type of sides. You know, Southern Districts have been down on form, and suddenly they're going to go into next week with confidence if after a big win if they continue this way.
That's right, and we'll talk shortly, Dave, about next week's round. Isn't it a ripper?
Oh, it certainly is, Gray. Stokes, inside 50 for the Buffaloes. You feel they need to score here, Courtney. What can he do? He's got to get rid of it, you feel. The umpire looks and pings. Holding the ball. Just pounced on the footy. Didn't get rid of it. Crocs are snappy today, Gray.
Yes, in a feeding frenzy almost, aren't they?
Well, they didn't get it out of defence there, but they might get a second chance. Suter. Dangerous kick in board. Renahan. McAdam. Stokes is there. Got it from Renahan. Jared Stokes. Left foot kick inside 50 towards Cam Stokes. No mark taken by either side. Frederick Sleeth. Handball's off. Keegan Dingo heads for the boundary line. Might stay in though. Dean Staunton leads the chase. So that left knee heavily bandaged. Spills out a play boundary throw in. Just forward to centre wing for Buffaloes, who trail this one significantly. The margin's already 8 goals. 9-4-58 Southern Districts. Buffaloes 1-4-10. Briston won the tap unopposed, tapped it over his head. Only as far as Dingo though, who just threw it on the boot. Pollock leads the chase. Weewack Ross couldn't quite gather it either. Paper talk. Clever handball to Pollock. Inside 50. Eagle and Wilson. Eagle got front position. It spills down to ground. Williams leads the chase for the footy. He's in trouble though. Hall claims him. Got it out just in time. Now Wilson's under pressure. The Crocs are really biting early. Williams runs away from his opponent though. And that's good defence from the young fella. Gets it out of the danger zone. Peckham Hunter now has time to mop up. Pursued by Cox. Gets around him. Then Dingo attempts the smother, couldn't quite get on the end of that. Lloyd Turner takes the mark at half forward. The Buffaloes did well to survive that foray. They might score themselves. Courtney couldn't quite take the mark. Ogden weighted down at ground level. His handball went towards Courtney. Jared Stokes couldn't quite pick it up. Antil Reddy's there. Suter gathers the loose footy. Clears the defensive zone. Mark should be taken by Keegan Dingo, and we can all take a deep breath.
Yes, they're very organised districts, even in the back half. When the pacey Buffaloes come down, they've got players in the right position, covering the right spaces.
Bowden got the handball off there towards Cox, who's claimed. Got it out just in time, but only as far as Cam Stokes. Looping handball over the top to Renahan. Heads towards Jared Stokes. Kick lands 10 metres in front of him, though, and it spills out of play. A boundary throw-in on AFL NTV. Apologies for any earlier technical difficulties. We are up and running, and we will be right through to about 11 o'clock tonight. So we've got Palmerston and Tiwi after this game, and if the match continues to go like this, Gray, we might have to just take the second half off and prepare for the next game, because at this stage it looks like Districts are the team that are going to win this quite comfortably.
Yes, unless there's a major turnaround, but the Buffaloes will not give up. So we still should be in for some type of contest, I think. So don't leave your, I was going to say your TV screens, but your screens in general. Yeah,
don't leave your screens wherever you are, because it's been an exciting game all the same. Dean Staunton around the corner. Charles McAdam takes the mark. About 80 metres out. Kicks in the Eagle direction. Wilson's done really well on him this quarter, but the umpire's paid a downfield free kick against the Buffaloes, so it's going to be a free kick to Eagle anyway.
Yes, if you're wondering how easy is this game, I've got 4 in the first quarter. He's gone for a pass here.
Farah didn't take the mark. Gathered, went around the corner, and missed opportunity there for the Crocs in the end.
Yes, so you'd think a player with Eagles experience will go back and have a shot, because that's his job. He's out there to kick goals, not to chip fancy passes into the forward pocket.
Buffalo's out of trouble. Dylan Gordon just kicks down the line and eventually it spills out of play.
But you're right, David. District's got this well under control. Using the ball properly and also going direct. So can take a major turnaround here from the Buffaloes.
Hard to find avenues to goal for the Buffaloes at the moment. Maybe this man, Dylan Gordon, needs to go forward and provide a target for them. Here's Reed around the corner. Phil Pott. Handballs to Livingston. His kick was smothered. Great smother, McLaughlin. Jones, a good shepherd to allow him room. Out of defence now. Antil ready. Hands off to a running Michael Bowden. Kicks into space. He wants someone to run onto it. Paper talks that man. Kicks inside 50. Great mark taken. Eagle above his head. Hard to defend that. Sean Wilson can't do too much about that one, Gray.
Yeah, but Sean made him earn it, which is very good defensive work. But you're right. He's a big fellow.
And he plays on up towards Willie Farah. Comes off hands. Wilson King's there. Farah, did he claim him high? Umpire says no, play on. Davin Hall comes in. And it's very close to the boundary line. Now it's out, but the umpire had already called for the ball.
I think this second one was there, but I don't think Jordan Wilson King's quite right there. I think the first one wasn't there, but the second one may have been from Hall.
Wilson King forced to do the ruck work. It spills out a play boundary throw in. Inside 50 for Southern Districts, who lead this one by 49 points midway through the second term. 9-5-59 Southern Districts. The Buffaloes 1-4-10. Earlier today, Nightcliff 16-8, 104 defeated Wanderers 13-5, 83 from the congestion. McGregor all wrapped up, ball up. Farah, there's that iconic two-handed or two-footed leap. Meantime, McGregor around the corner. They've kicked another one.
Yes, the dam wall had to crack eventually, Dave. The amount of ball coming down. And the Buffalo defenders were a bit distracted then too. A bit of a tussle there.
Yeah, there was a bit going on. What was going on there? I got a bit distracted as well, Gray.
Bit of a tussle between Paper Talk from Districts and Shem Williams. It is number 11 from the Buffaloes. Bit of jumper punching, and a couple of players took their eye off the ball, and McLaughlin straight into an easy goal. Put some 55 points in front.
Do you have that as McLaughlin or McGregor, Gray?
Sorry, number 5. You're right. It's McLaughlin, I think.
McLaughlin. Tambling inside 50. Eagle disposed of his opponent. And it's going to dribble towards the behind line. It goes through.
Some feisty characters out there for the Buffaloes.
Stokes trying to spark his team. The umpire has paid a throw. So Paper Talk's going to win himself a free kick.
Very, very good decision though, the umpire then too. Young Stokes, he knew it. His head went to the heavens. But unfortunately, the big fellow up there, Jared, is not going to help you. On this occasion anyway.
Here's Paper Talk to really extend the margin. Just a laconic kicking action. Eagle almost took a hanger on no one and then dropped the mark, and then they just mucked it up in the end, Gray.
Bit of lazy play there. I'm not quite sure why you're going for a chip pass into the pocket when you're, 35, 40 metres out.
10-6-66. The Crocs, the Buffaloes, 1-4-10. This kick-in's intercepted. And here is McGregor. What's he going to do with it? Inside 50. Tambling. Willie Farah, I should say, flew from behind, brought it to ground, and then it spilt out of play.
And you're right, David, too. The goal kicker before was, in fact, Liam McGregor. Your eyes are younger than mine, so that's my excuse.
My eyes are...
Number 16 definitely looks a bit different to number 5, doesn't it?
I think they're different coloured hair there, but we'll keep going. Here's Troy Taylor. Oh, he somehow paved a way through to Tambling. But that's where it came unstuck. Gordon got the handball off. The Buffs are out of trouble, at least momentarily, though, because Pollock's taken the mark about 90 from goal.
He's been terrific, this fellow. High
kick. Oh, Taylor, one hand. He still hasn't used the second hand.
Yes, one 2 hands for beginners, so they say, and 1 hand for the veterans. And certainly Troy showed then that he's been around for a while. Of course, he went to Richmond for a while, didn't he? Had a handful of games down there in the AFL.
He did. Let's see what that AFL experience can produce in front of goal with a difficult set shot. We've got the perfect view of this one, Gray. He is on the perfect angle for us to see from our commentary box. In comes Troy Taylor. It's not going to make the distance. Jason Eagle almost had time to come around the corner. In the end, his kick was partially affected, and the Buffaloes do well, at least momentarily. Gleeson. Now Taylor again. High ball up towards the hot spot. Willie Farah flies. Can't come down with it. And the Buffaloes out of trouble in the end through Wilson King. He just pumps it as long as he can. Tyler Jones couldn't take the mark. Bowden couldn't quite gather. Collinson just sends it towards the goal square. Big foot race here. Who have we got? We got Frederick Sleeth, who comes to meet the footy first, and he was good under pressure. Went around the corner on the left foot and found Tyler Jones.
Once again, cool and calculated there, the Crocodiles.
Taylor affected his own man in the end, Pollock, and then McLaughlin couldn't quite take it. Richard Tambling had it knocked away from him. Now Jared Stokes. Little underground handball there to Eldridge. Gathered, kicked in the Daniel Courtney direction. Outnumbered though, 2-1. And in the end, Sleeth got it to McLaughlin. Back towards Sleeth. Cedric Cox came to help that pair out. And now McLaughlin, who kept on running, kicked into space. Paper Talk's there. So is Wilson King, though. He came out to meet it. Is that a free kick for a hold? Yes, it is.
It's the perfect half-back flank, this guy, Wilson King. Very hard at it.
Sean Wilson, a handy backman himself. And now out wide, Shem Williams to Sean Wilson. Did well to evade Sam Smith, but that's where it came unstuck. Michael Bowden able to intercept that one. Left foot, usually more reliable than that, but it might get the job done. Sam Smith, very close to the boundary line. Dean Staunton's there. Sean Wilson takes it out of play. Boundary throw-in. Oh, Wilson, just a lack of self-control there. Just kicked the ball into his own bench. And lucky not to give away a free kick, really. He's frustrated, you can see that.
A little bit of frustration coming into the Buffaloes. We'll need some cool heads if they're going to get back into this.
Until Reddy waited behind and then gathered the ball from the ruck contest, kicked inside 50, little palm off there from Robbie Scanlon, and then a beautiful left foot snap around the corner is a goal.
Yes, well, that was more strength than anything else. So, although he did have the run of the ball, and his weight leaning against his Buffalo opponent was enough to give him enough room to get onto the left foot, and goal number 11.
Wow. Don't know whether we expected this, Gray. I thought that Southern Districts would win, but I thought that the resistance maybe from the Buffaloes would be more than this.
I think they've had the voices of their coach, Mr. Rusker, and also Magic McLean ringing in their ears all week, so I'm sure the echo is still there for those 18 players out there. They were very disappointing last week. In fact, they were shocking against Waratahs.
Well, it's not often that you lose a game to a side that is last on the ladder that didn't score in the second half, Gray, but that's exactly what happened to Southern Districts. But they're a different side today, playing with a lot more confidence. In the middle of the ground, Cox couldn't quite find a target with his handball. Dylan Gordon just kicked it off the ground, tried to gain some territory. Ogden, was that high from Gordon? Gordon's not happy, frustrated as well. The Buffaloes have a fair bit of frustration creeping in.
Yes, I just hope that frustration doesn't boil over to
a 50-metre penalty, Gray.
Some names in books. Well, yeah, 50 metres first and names in books after that.
True.
We don't really need anyone else at the tribunal for a while. Thank you very much. After as you said earlier, Dave, the dramas of the past week.
I'd love to see some microphones on the umpires, Gray, so we can hear what's going on out there. But that might be something for the future. Meantime, District's inside 50. Cam Stokes just palms it towards the boundary line. Geez, it took an eternity. It ended up bouncing through for behind.
Did a leg break in the end.
Stokes couldn't quite take it. Jones now inside 50. Another mark taken. McGregor kicked a good goal from a similar spot earlier this quarter. Maybe he can kick his second.
Bit of right to left in this, you would think.
In he comes. Little bit of a ball spin as he approaches and just puts it to the left-hand side.
Started a bit too far left, I think, originally.
11-8, 74 Southern Districts. 1-4-10. Our scoreboard just out by a point at the moment, but we'll get that corrected for you. Juggling attempt there.
And here they come again. I see Woodley here back on Eagle, who's leading into a pocket. Once more, hasn't kicked a goal this quarter, Dave, after that 4-goal blitz, which is a bit surprising because the ball's been down there probably for the entire 22 minutes.
Well, he's had plenty of support, Gray, up forward. They've already managed 5 goals, and Dean Staunton has kicked one of them. Now he's got a chance to kick his second goal of the quarter. In he comes. Oh, look at this. It's a very interesting run-up. Dean Staunton fails to trouble the scorers.
Yes, almost like one of those fast bowlers from the West Indies, wasn't it? A long run-up, but skewed away to the right.
World Cup starting soon, Gray. The world's longest sporting event ever.
7 weeks of cricket, yes. The cricket fans will be happy. Might be a bit World Cupped out, I'd say, by the middle of March when the finals played.
Good mark, Briston. There's been plenty of cricket, hasn't there? Just when you felt like the summer of cricket was coming to an end, we've got a World Cup about to start.
Fortunately for us Territorians, though, Dave, we'll get 12 months of football up here.
Very true. Here's Sleeth by hands to Cox. And good smother there. Stokes. Now Eldridge. Ragdolled. The umpire says illegally.
Had a terrific year, Timmy Eldridge. Probably starting to fall away a little bit towards the end. I say he's a bit weary, but certainly one of his very best seasons for the Buffaloes.
Yeah, I'd agree with that wholeheartedly. Courtney up towards Livingston, couldn't take it. Jones, McLaughlin, and now wider to McAdam. Siren beats him though. Eldridge a little header there on the halftime siren. At halftime, the Crocs in complete control. 11-8-74. The Buffaloes 1-4-10. There's only one multiple goal kicker on the ground. It's Jason Eagle with 4 singles to Dean Staunton, Christian Papertalk, Davin Hall, Tom Gleeson, Robert Scanlon, Liam McGregor and Willie Farrell, while for the Buffaloes they've only had 1 goal and it went to Liam Philpott in the first term. We'll be back soon after the halftime break on AFL NTV. Make sure you stick around.
After a hard day's work, you deserve it. When you're catching up with mates, you deserve it. Grabbing a bite with the missus, you deserve it. But drive after a few, you deserve it. A road safety message from TIO.
Do you know a family in crisis? Contact the North Australian Aboriginal Family Violence Legal Service. We provide legal advice, representation, referral services and support to family and community. Break the chains of family violence today. Healing NT Families. For more information, call us today.
Patrons are reminded that TIO Stadium is strictly a non-smoking venue and that patrons wishing to smoke must use the areas provided.
For Territorians, the roads are more than bitumen. They connect us. For TIO, it's the same. For taking us on safe journeys, for travelling free, for twists and turns, for turning the corner. for taking you back to health. Road safety for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
Stop heat stress before it starts. Geminex has a wide range of hydration products, including camelbacks and cooling vests, Eskies and coolers, rehydration drinks and accessories, all designed to ensure your safety in the sun. For a limited time, purchase a box of 20 Squincher 3.8 litre powder concentrate sachets and receive 2 3.8 litre coolers absolutely free while stocks last. Rehydrate, restore and recharge at Geminex, Winnelli and Pinelands.
Every cigarette you smoke inside your car hurts the ones you love. And some of them don't have a choice. The next time you decide to have a cigarette, think about who else you're hurting. Smoking can kill those close to you. For help, call the Quit Line.
Hello, Dave Kennedy from AFL NTV with your insight into the Premier League. Well, the big movement on the Premier League ladder actually came at the bottom this week. Waratah finally registered another win to take them to 8 points. It's still St Mary's clear on top of the ladder from Nightcliff, Southern Districts, the Tiwi Bombers and Palmerston. Wanderers are the team outside the 5 at the moment. The Buffaloes lost last week means they won't be playing finals this year. Matthias Liddy leads the way in the goal kicking, half a ton from him and he's 2 ahead of Darren Ewing. Willie Farah's next, then Thomas Motlop. Ross Tungatalum sneaks into the top 5 for the first time this year.
I'm Noah. And I'm Ruby. We want to let you know that registrations for junior football are now open. Grab your friends and sign up to play our game. We play footy because we love it. To join your local club, visit playafl.com.au.
After a hard day's work, you deserve it. When you're catching up with mates, you deserve it. Grabbing a bite with the missus, you deserve it. But drive after a few, you deserve it. A road safety message from TIO.
Do you know a family in crisis? Contact the North Australian Aboriginal Family Violence Legal Service. We provide legal advice, representation, referral services and support to family and community. Break the chains of family violence today. Healing NT Families. For more information, call us today.
For Territorians, the roads are more than bitumen. They connect us. For TIO, it's the same. For taking us on safe journeys, for travelling free, for twists and turns, for turning the corner, for taking you back to health. Road safety for Territorians.
AFL Northern Territory are committed to providing a safe environment for all patrons. To report any antisocial behaviour, text the issue and your location to 0498 062 213. Please note, responses cannot be sent.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
Stop heat stress before it starts. Geminex has a wide range of hydration products, including camelbacks and cooling vests, eskies and coolers, rehydration drinks and accessories, all designed to ensure your safety in the sun. For a limited time, purchase a box of 20 Squincher 3.8 litre powder concentrate sachets and receive 2 3.8 litre coolers absolutely free while stocks last. Rehydrate, restore and recharge at Geminex, Winnelli and Pinelands.
What did he say? He says you can see quite well.
Every eye is an eye. When you're doing the surgery there, that is just as important as if you were doing eye surgery on the Prime Minister or the King.
Yeah. He's going to be all right.
Them have been tellers, eh? How she been set that board and all, eh? Board?
That's why they must start. I just walked away.
Yeah, too. I'm just going to watch yourself in your job.
They even they want event to take redundant. For the 10 years, they wanted to be team leader or take redundant.
Team leader for where?
How's that in background? Is that where you're going after this? Good. Stand up at the gate and have a look. Oh, who are they? Down from Norton last week. Took Jonathan from us. And we made it wrong. Jonathan Atkins was a driver. And they wanted him as a support worker. 3 months probation. And they got rid of him. You're lucky we had somebody come back to us.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium. The second half of action between Southern Districts and the Buffaloes is about to get underway. It was the first half that saw an 11-goal blitz from the Crocs, who seem to have found their mojo. They lead this one by a whopping 65 points at half-time. Dave Kennedy's my name, and I'm joined by Gray Morris. Gray, we saw Nightcliff defeat Wanderers earlier today, and now it looks like Southern Districts are on their merry way to a much-needed win.
Yes, the real district side has found its way out to TIO Stadium this afternoon, and they're looking very, very good.
In dispute, and there's one man who's come back into the side, Richard Tambling. This time just a high up and under. Jared Stokes. Tambling again. Let's quickly talk about Jared Stokes. Great. If we just get the break in play, Cox is all wrapped up, and now we'll get our chance. He had a really good start to the season, I feel, but after that he's gone a little bit quiet.
He has. He, as you said, very good. And one particular game against Nightcliff on a Saturday night late game was terrific. Kicked a couple of match-winning goals. But yes, like a lot of the young Buffaloes, I think the season's been a bit long. So in some ways, it's probably fortunate for him that they aren't playing finals. But I'm sure as he gets his body better and bigger, we'll see a more elongated Jared Stokes.
Here's Dean Staunton. Palms off Eldridge and then kicks up towards half forward. No mark taken there. Just tapping it along in front of himself there. Here's Williams. Davin Hall was in the back. Umpire says no play on. And looks like we've got rid of our cinema-style wide shot. We're going to re-update you with a new wide shot soon. Back into play.
The Buffaloes have not kicked a goal since about the second minute of the game, Dave, when Liam Philpott kicked a goal from a free. So it's been a while.
Are you talking about your shot? Yeah.
So there's a boundary throw in here.
I think it's still...
We've got a little bit of background noise coming. We're having a few technical difficulties here, Gray. But, we're about to be brought back into play. 2 minutes into the third term. Boundary throw in at half forward for the Crocs. Buffaloes win the clearance. Here's Jared Stokes, the man we were just talking about. Couldn't quite gather it. Cedric Cox towards the boundary. Jordan Suter. That's what one of the Jared Stokes would have just picked that up cleanly and gone on his way for a bit of a trundle. Just couldn't quite on that occasion, Greg.
Yes, that feel for the football seems to have gone, didn't it?
Cam Stokes.
And there's his brother, Cameron, his cousin, sorry. Cameron barging through.
Oh, Willie Farah! What an amazing leap. Didn't get anywhere near the ball, but it was entertaining all the same.
Bit of a worry the way he hit the ground though, head first. I'm glad he's up and about. You always hold your breath when they land like that. But you're right, a spectacular leap.
Wrong kick down the line. Sam Smith didn't quite come down with it. Tries to tap it in front of himself. He's claimed though by Wilson King. And then the Buffaloes clear the congestion up towards Reed. He couldn't gather. Smith again. Eventually spills out to Peckham Hunter. Inside 50. Collinson goes to ground, and Jones also to ground, but he managed to get to his feet. Got the handball off there to Sleeth, to Suter, and then inboard towards McLaughlin. Stokes got a fist on that one. Then he gathered left and then back right and inboard. They're overusing the footy here. Stokes and Philpott, it all comes unstuck. McLaughlin hands off to Staunton. Another creative handball. Finds Paper Talk. Kicks into space. And coming across the front of the pack and taking a good mark is Willie Farah. Plays on, runs in and kicks a goal.
Yes, it did come unstuck, David, but that's the way the Buffaloes have to go. They have to keep the ball moving because they haven't got any marking options down in front of goals. Unfortunately, when it breaks down, it can be disastrous, as we saw then. Goal to Will Farah.
Willie Farah kicks the first of the second half, Gray, and that's their 12th for the match. 12-9-81. They should have a 12-9 at has there been a behind this quarter, Gray?
Not sure. I think it was 65 at half time, wasn't it? No, you're right, it was 74. Yeah, so they've kicked one goal, one. I can't remember a behind.
Oh, well,
I'm sure the man who presses the button up there in the media box must have spotted something that we didn't.
12-9-81, the scoreboard showing. 1-4-10, the Buffaloes. And another mark inside 50 for Will Farah.
Yes, the boy from up in the Kimberleys. Saw him take the 2011 Mark of the Year in the NTFL Grand Final. David, he can get off the ground.
An amazing two-footed vertical leap. Didn't need it on this occasion. Can go back and kick goal number 2 in 2 minutes. Just hangs it out to the left, minus score. 12-10 now, the scoreboard showing. 5 minutes played, almost 6 minutes played in the third term on AFL NTV, and it's Southern Districts 12-8-80. Oh, sorry, 12-10-82. Leading the Buffaloes 1-4-10. Margin is 12 goals, Gray.
Yes, most of the Districts boys playing up to their potential, and that's what they have to do every week. Play at least 95%. Without any passengers.
Renahan taps it in the Stokes direction. Gets around Bowden. He looks inboard. Right foot kick up towards Collinson. Took it on the half volley. And then left footer inside 50. No mark taken. Wilson King, who's floated forward. Dingo's in pursuit of him. Wilson King throws himself on the footy. And Dingo goes in after him. Sleeth tries his hand. And eventually the umpire calls for it. Ball up inside 50. Almost 7 minutes gone. Third term. Sleeth wins that tap unopposed. And then he gets the clearance as well himself. So Southern Districts doing it all in cruise control at the moment, you sort of feel. There we go. There's a nice shot. Eldridge.
Yes, the intensity seems to have dropped off as the Buffaloes have a chance.
Stokes gets around one, kicks on goal and misses to the right-hand side.
Did very well then, young Stokes, to weave his way out of a pack, but unfortunately the finish was not quite.
Well, that's their first score, Gray, for an extraordinary amount of time.
Yes, since late in the first quarter anyway. Here he is, the son of the great... No, it's not. It's Wilson. Yes, son of the great Gilbert McAdam. Charlie.
So Districts in winning this game, Gray, they all but cement third spot. This means that they would need to win next week, and they would need Nightcliff to lose for them to have any chance of making an impression on second spot.
Yeah, their only danger is that fourth place side, the Tiwi Bombers. If they beat Palmerston later on tonight, and District lose their last game, although the Tiwis then have to beat St Mary's in the last game, so that's a pretty tough ask. But it can be done.
Snap on goal, just across the face. Well, we might have to go through all the permutations and combinations on DK and Gray later on in the week.
Yeah.
But all we know is that next week, and of course later tonight, we've got 3 more cracking games. We've got Palmerston and Tiwi tonight. Then next Saturday, it's St Mary's versus the Tiwi Bombers in a local traditional rivalry that has been a rather recent phenomenon, but seen some cracking matches between those two sides. And then after that, what could possibly be a virtual elimination final, Palmerston versus Wanderers.
Yes, for that 5th spot, really, isn't it? Depending on how the Maggies go tonight, of course. I've actually tipped them to beat the Tiwis, so we'll see what happens in that one.
Here's Dingo, starts it right. It's bending, not quite enough though. Minus score.
Having said that, the Maggies without a couple of key players. I know that Cameron Cloak is out. As you write the team, no, that's is it the later game?
Haven't got the teams yet, Gray.
Yeah, they're without Cameron Cloak, and Aaron Davey, I know, is out as well. So, of course, the Tiwis have got your tip for the Nichols medal. He's definitely playing. Ross Tungatullum, who's been in scintillating form.
Palmer down the line. Good strong mark. It's taken there by Turner. Might not be Turner actually. Might be Peckham Hunter. Kicks inside 50. Aldridge gathered the half volley. Then he's all wrapped up by Jones. Got the handball away just in time. Sleeth mops up though. Concedes territory to Dingo, who had a shot at the other end just before. And then on to, in turn to a teammate, and now Hall under pressure, Tambling. Handball up in the air. Eldridge ragdolled and brought to ground, and then the ball up ensues.
Player of tremendous spirit there, Timmy Eldridge. Shows no fear whatsoever.
Richard Tambling won the clearance in towards the middle of the ground, only as far there as Palmer. He couldn't quite take it though. Chain of handballs ends with Dean Staunton. Has a shot on goal from outside 50. Oh, Farah took the mark. He just plucked it, coming back with the flight.
Gee, Will Farah and Keegan Dingo got very similar beards. Almost like they've come down from the mountains to play this afternoon. Mountain men.
And Keegan Dingo as well. The 3 of them, if you put them in a line, they're not men that you'd want to mess with. In comes Farah, and he bangs it through. Goal number 13 for Southern Districts. Goal number 3 for Willie Farah.
Yeah, it's almost like like Outlaws, aren't they? As Will Farah goes up and pats the big fellow eagle on the back.
And as
they go on their merry way.
Willie Farah, of course, he's a teacher at Clontarf. He works with kids, so he can't be that scary, can he?
Well, let's hope not. But yes, it's amazing that pronged forward line. Who have we got down there again? We've got Eagle, who hadn't kicked a goal since quarter time. Will Farah, and of course Troy Taylor, who hasn't bothered the scorers yet. But
it's a well-balanced forward line, because you throw someone like Dean Staunton who can go forward. Davin Hall comes in and also provides an option, and then Antel Reddy is the other tall that can go down there. So they're just spoilt for choice. Here's Troy Taylor in the middle of the ground now. Got the handball off. There's Antel Reddy, another name we mentioned. Here's Dean Staunton, the 3rd name we mentioned. Couldn't quite gather. Ross Wewak, or Wewak Ross, I should say. Clears defence. And now Cedric Cox throws it on the boot up towards Eagle, who, as you mentioned, Gray has been a bit quiet. Couldn't quite take the mark. Williams got the clearing kick towards the boundary line. Cam Stokes just manages to keep it in. And then kicks in board. Good mark is taken. Livingston. What's he going to do, the young fella? Oh, Livingston, the candy man. Hands off to Kevin Renahan, who unloads from 52 out up towards the top of the goal square. Jones takes the good defensive mark, though.
Been very reliable back there, Tyler Jones. Came to districts, coincidentally, as a forward. Once again from up there on the Murray River in northern Victoria.
Yeah, it was really an interesting storyline out of that grey. When Southern Districts played against Nightcliff and Damien Cupido found himself up against his old side. Jones went back to do the job on him, and those two players were actually fighting it out for the goal-kicking medal.
At one stage, yeah.
At one stage in their Victorian season. So, a very interesting, I guess, what would you call that? An interesting story, follow-up story.
Very small world as Ant already gets into the action.
Puts it inside 50. Farah kept it in front of himself. Davin Hall, little tap over the top. He might regather the footy here, Davin. Couldn't quite. Tapped it to McGregor. Little left foot one around the corner towards Gleeson. Can he keep it in? Got the wrong bounce and it spilled out of play. Boundary throw in.
Tom Gleeson there, of course, the inaugural Morris medalist down in the Big Rivers Football League. The medal named after my family, of course, which I'm very, very proud of. But yeah, he's coming back. I think he's been out for a bit of injury, Tom, but certainly he's working the midfield, very important for the Crocs.
Ball up inside 50. Stokes. Handball partially affected. Eldridge got to get rid of it. He did. Has a man coming off the bench there in Reed. Drops short of him. Now Reed might get a chance. Gathers. And then kicks a high ball. Is this going to stay in play? It does. Bowden dropped a mark that he probably should have taken. Philpott comes to regather. And now Frederick Sleeth over the footy. Long looping handball. Wants McLaughlin to run onto it. Can't quite. Close to the boundary line. Eldridge still in, and now it's not. He kicks it out of bounds on the full. So free kick for Southern Districts at half back. About 80 out from their defensive line. 15 and a half minutes gone on AFL NTV. And if you're a Buffalo supporter who's just joined us, look away now because you don't want to know the score. 13-12-90 Southern Districts. The Buffaloes 1-5-11. Paper talk through traffic. Handball only as far as Eldridge, who kicks up towards centre half forward, but defensive mark is taken there by Sleeth.
Freddie Sleeth been very good back there as almost a loose man.
It's a very nice British name, isn't it, Gray? We talked about the Tiwi Bombers and how they've got some very Anglo names in their side, but I think that's probably one of the more Anglo names in the competition. Liam McGregor, meantime, inside 50 towards Farah. Can't quite take the mark. Second grab. Oh, look at this. At ground level, Ogden Rove perfectly. Went around the corner, just missed.
Yes, they've got everything going for them here. They've just got to... I think they've got to bring the big fellow Sleeth into the game again. A bit more leading, I think, from... not Sleeth, big fellow Eagle. A bit more leading, perhaps, down the ground might result in a few more major scores.
Wilson up towards Weewack Ross. Couldn't take it. Here is Jordan Suter, and he couldn't keep it in. Another one of those good rural beards. Great.
Yes, they're obviously the shops out there don't stock razor blades by the look of it.
No, they're
so they've decided that rather than come into town and buy razor blades, they'll just grow beards.
We must also mention, Gray, call to arms round this week. A very good initiative by AFL-NT and the NT Cancer Council to make sure that much needed funds are raised for the Cancer Council.
Yes, a terrific initiative. Men's health, really, it comes down to. Go and see your doctor regularly.
And a good yarn in today's paper about St Mary's and their fundraising mission for this weekend.
Yes, a very real subject, unfortunately, cancer, and it has to be tackled head on.
Make sure that if you are heading to the footy tomorrow, make sure that you bring some extra cash there to donate. This one's gone out of bounds on the full. It might have come off Keegan Dingo's leg.
Off his boot, I think, yeah. What's the rule there? I think under the knee, above the ankle, I think is legal, isn't it? I think it's off the boot.
I think so, yeah. Anything above the knee, below the knee is all right. So Livingston's going to win himself a free kick. What's the young fella going to do here? He just winds up and then pumps it long inside 50, Livingston. No mark taken. Coming back into the traffic there was Peckham Hunter. Players appealing for a free kick. Collinson burrowed his way through. Briston.
Richard Tamlin there working overtime to get a free kick. He even called for a taxi at one stage, but certainly the umpire didn't give him anything.
Smith won the tap down. Collinson roved it though. He had a snap-on goal and he dribbled it home.
And the drought is over.
Finally. The Buffaloes register goal number 2, 2-5-17. And Southern Districts 13-13, 91. 19 minutes gone, third term on AFL NTV.
Typical opportunist goal there by young Joey Collinson.
We just see him kick a goal like that every week, Gray. Every week he manages to squirm a little goal from a clearance situation like that. He's one of the best when it comes to goals from clearances, I reckon.
Had a quick glance over his right shoulder, saw no one there, so he rolled it through. I love Peter Dacos.
He'd be very happy you comparing him to Peter Dacos as well. Paper Talk just overran that one. Now he gets another opportunity. And he goes up towards centre half forward. Mark's taken. Taylor.
I think he'd go direct. He's not really.
Eagle was the target, but Eldridge did really well to come across the front there and took a bit of courage. He showed it in spades there.
The hole there that Big Eagle was leading into.
Dylan Gordon down the line, close to the boundary line. Have they managed to keep it in? No. So Peckham Hunter denied, and Michael Bowden will take the free kick right on centre wing. You can see the yellow interchange paint there. Umpire calls him to play on. Left foot kick up towards half forward. Eldridge is there once again. Taylor try to pinch it from him. Eldridge. Now Dingo. Turner. Handball to space. Tambling though. He read it best, and a perfect kick to the hot spot. And now Willie Farah with another chance, this time to kick goal number 4.
That's why these players go to the elite level, David. They're intense, and their intent and their vision, and also their disposal skills. So this should be a gimme for a player of Will Farah's quality.
1 goal in the first term, and now 3 in the third. Will Farah kicks another goal for Southern Districts. He's kicked all their goals this quarter, Gray.
Yes, and that's his 4th for the match, so he joins his fellow goal kicker Jason Eagle on 4 goals. All the rest for Districts are singles.
14-13 I should say. 97. 2-5-17 the Buffaloes.
Yes, it has turned into a bit of a slog this third quarter as the Buffaloes try and restrict the damage on the scoreboard. And they are working very, very hard, but Districts have got that edge in class. And experience, of course.
Briston into the ruck against Smith. Districts win the clearance. Sounds good. Superb goal. Ogden dobs it, and that's a real special. Apologies for that break in programming. Ogden for his second goal of the quarter after the three-quarter time siren. This one's gone right across the face of goal. And a miss there. Another miss. That's consecutive behinds after Willie Farah kicked what was probably the point of the year, which will no doubt appear on the bloopers reel. But at three-quarter time, it's Southern Districts in complete control. 15-15, 105. They lead Buffaloes 2-5-17. Back soon after the three-quarter time break.
After a hard day's work, you deserve it. When you're catching up with mates, you deserve it. Grabbing a bite with the missus, you deserve it. But drive after a few, you deserve it. A road safety message from TAO.
Every cigarette you smoke inside your car hurts the ones you love. And some of them don't have a choice. The next time you decide to have a cigarette, think about who else you're hurting. Smoking can kill those close to you. For help, call the Quit line.
Do you know a family in crisis? Contact the North Australian Aboriginal Family Violence Legal Service. We provide legal advice, representation, referral services and support to family and community. Break the chains of family violence today. Healing NT Families. For more information, call us today.
For Territorians, the roads are more than bitumen. They connect us. For TIO, it's the same. For taking us on safe journeys, for travelling free, for twists and turns, for turning the corner, for taking you back to health. Road safety for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
Stop heat stress before it starts. Geminex has a wide range of hydration products, including camelbacks and cooling vests, air skis and coolers, rehydration drinks and accessories, all designed to ensure your safety in the sun. For a limited time, purchase a box of 20 Squincher 3.8 litre powder concentrate sachets and receive 2 3.8 litre coolers absolutely free while stocks last. Rehydrate, restore and recharge at Geminex, Winnelli and Pinelands.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium. Final quarter of action here between Southern Districts and the Buffaloes is underway. We've travelled just under 1 minute and it's been all one-way traffic really in this game. Southern Districts right on top. Ogden kicked a great goal just before, and now another chance for Southern Districts. Inside 50, and the mark is taken by McAdam. As young David over here on my left huffs and puffs, he's just been racing down to get some team shirts. But I'm absolutely stuffed, Gray. Back in the nick of time. Not really. I was about a minute late, wasn't I? Yes, but in the nick of time because there's been no scoring shots up until now. In comes McAdam. Should kick a goal, and he does. Charlie McAdam puts himself on the scorer's sheet. I reckon that's his first goal for Districts. So the first time a McAdam has kicked a goal for Districts since his uncle would have played down there, Adrian McAdam, about half a dozen years ago. And so the family link is alive and well at Fred's Pass, Dave. Great for the McAdam family and great for young Charlie, as we note that that's their 16th goal, and Gray, we can also say that the scorers are waved off on that score, so we must have missed one. 16-15, 111 is the score. 2 goals, 5 for the Buffaloes. No, that was right. It was 15-15 at three-quarter time. Yep, I thought it might have been 15-14, but no, the umpires know what they're doing out there. They got it all under control. McLaughlin and McAdam, the goal kicker, not kicking a goal on that occasion, almost pinged there for holding the ball. Umpire let it go. And eventually another boundary throw in. Palmerston versus the Tiwi Bombers coming up right after this, Gray. This is a huge game. Yes, supporters of both sides be holding their breath. Will we see the real Tiwi Bombers, and will we see a continuation of what's been a very good year for the Magpies under second-year coach Dean Rioli? What's going on here? Whistle? Just looking at District's percentage there, Dave. They're 105.17 before this game started, so I'm sure the coaching staff would love to see it up above 110% as we race towards that coveted double chance. Yeah, well, the win here tonight should basically secure them a double chance, whether that's in second or third spot. But yes, but the only problem is I've got the Tiwi Bombers breathing down their neck, and if that's the only possible team that Tiwi would have to win tonight and win next week to have any chance of ousting them from the double chance. Here's Bowden up towards half back. Whistle though. Maybe a downfield free kick. Not sure what's going on here. What's happening? Someone's must have been out of bounds. Or is it a free kick in fact? Not 100% sure here, Gray. A young paper talk, is it, or Hall? I've got the ball. It might be young Darwin Hall. From the square as well, so well, I'm 58, David, and I reckon I could even kick a goal from here. You're a young 58 though, Gray, as Darwin Hall bangs it through. So a goal to him in the first term, and now a goal in the final term. 2 goals to Darwin Hall, 17 goals to the Crocodiles. And they move to 17-15, 117. And that's a 100-point lead, 100 points. That's what they're looking for. The District's brains trust, I would say, a significant, because right before the game they trailed Nycliffe by 0.1%, so they're definitely above them now. So they'll go to a comfortable third spot. Back in the middle of the ground, Smith around the corner. No mark taken from either side. Antil Reddy was very clean for a big man. Got it to Suda. In turn to Paper Talk, who just went in towards the pocket. Eagle hasn't kicked a goal since the first term. And he's not going to kick one on that occasion because that's a push in the back. Eldridge takes the advantage and the Buffaloes are away on the far side. Kick out towards Ross. Can he keep it in? He can. He gathers. Forced to kick around the corner. Up towards his teammate there, Peckham Hunter. Got it to Phil Pott and inboard to Jared Stokes.
as the Buffaloes come forward. Dave, I'm just looking at next week's draw, of course. Districts and Tiwi. Districts have got Nycliffe next week, of course, haven't they, out at Fred's Pass? So, and if the Tiwis do win tonight, they would have to beat Nycliffe, although they would know the result by then, of course, of the Tiwi St Mary's game in the race for the, as you said, the third coveted double chance, the third spot. So it looks all in favour of Districts at this particular stage.
Well, this is a huge win for them, but at the moment the ball's at the other end. Cam Stokes with a shot on goal from 49, not going to have the distance. It's up towards the right on the line there, in dispute, and they all just pounce on the footy. Collinson's thereabouts, and eventually the umpire calls for it. It might be young umpire Sam Ferguson out there, Gray, I think.
Number 15.
Back into play. Sleeth towards the boundary line, and it spills out of play.
Don't really deserve this, do the Darwin Buffaloes. They've had a terrific season, but I guess with the final spot out of reach, it's time to give some young blokes a go, which is what Mark Motlop has done.
Stokes to Turner. Back to Stokes. Was he held? Umpire says yes.
Has worked his way into the game, has Stokes too. Must have heard us talking about him earlier, Dave, and he'll go back and have a shot here. Might be right on his distance though, about 40 metres.
You almost prefer him on the run than, or as opposed to the set shot. Gray, he's that type of player, isn't he?
Yes, he's just looking sideways here. I wonder whether he'll go for a short option here, but I think his teammates have told him to have a shot, and he will.
So in he comes. Jared Stokes. Kicks from 48 metres out, gives it a good ride, and it just misses to the left-hand side.
Yes, just put a bit too much boot into that, unfortunately, and got a bit of a hook on it, but certainly he's worked his way back in the game, which is very good to see. Here he is again.
Yeah, he might get another chance. Just fumbled momentarily there. Allowed Staunton to get it to Suter. And the Crocs are away. Look at this, the transitional play. Ogden. Paper talk inside 50. Farah glides in the air and takes the mark. Suddenly, the Crocs are the ones having a shot at the other end.
Yes, she was almost like an eagle swooping there on an unsuspecting prey there. And here he is lining up. Was just looking at...
In he comes, Willie Farah, and he kicks another one. So suddenly, Willie Farah is the highest scoring goal kicker on the ground. And I'll tell you what, Gray, he's actually making a bit of a move on the Dennis Dunn Trophy as well.
Okay,
a late move.
No, he can kick goals for sure. Just looking back at number 36 there for Southern Districts. Reminds me of a footballer who played at Hawthorn. Of course, we all remember him, Terry Wallace, nicknamed the Plough. I reckon Jordan moves about as quick as that, but he's got a habit of getting the ball and uses it very, very well. So that's probably why he's right up there in the voting for the NT News Player of the Year.
Yeah, he does. He gets a lot of the footy, as you mentioned, Gray, and usually uses it pretty well. Phil Pott, meantime, wanted to handball, then got to his feet and kicked. Bowden cut it off. Geez, some short shorts there from Michael Bowden. It's a bit rude, isn't it?
He likes that trusted left foot too.
Yeah, he does.
I'm sure his uncle will be watching there from the sidelines. He was in the box earlier, Joel Bowden.
Yeah, he's got plenty of kids that he'll be watching. Michael will be one of them. Ogden, meantime, off the ground and spills out of play. Just a reminder, Palmerston taking on the Tiwi Bombers in the next game. A game that has a huge influence on the complexion of the top 5 in the NTFL. Round 17, just one more round of minor rounds coming up after this. So a huge game on AFL NTV is coming up next. Make sure you stick with us for that one. Meantime, McGregor comes away for the Crocs. Kicks towards the wing. Mark's taken by Sam Smith. Plays on immediately. Left foot kick inboard. Up towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Dylan Gordon with a little clearing kick. Up towards Renahan. He gathers through some traffic and then ends up going back onto the right foot. Just not to anyone in particular. They're really lacking stocks up forward today. And the Crocs work their way out. Cox. Pollock. Willie Farah couldn't quite. He might grab Gordon. He did, but he grabbed him round the neck.
Yes, he almost decraniumised Dylan Gordon.
Decraniumised. Antil ready. Kicks to a dangerous spot. Willie Farah's there. Dylan Gordon did well to get a fist to it. He might get a free kick as well. He does.
Had a very good year, Dylan Gordon. As we said earlier, Dave, will be a candidate for the NT News Team of the Year, I'm sure. In a year when ruckmen haven't really been standouts.
Very true.
No standout ruckman jumps to my attention. Big Gilthouse, of course, but he's been in and out of the Nycliffe side.
So you'd have Dylan Gordon in as a ruckman or as a backman? That's the question. Meantime, Troy Taylor emerges and kicks on goal, misses.
Yes, he's been very consistent, certainly in their best 5 players on a regular basis. Well, as far as the NT News scribes are concerned.
Yep.
And so I certainly rate him very highly. The former Magpie, of course, who did play down forward in his younger days.
Very versatile player. Ogden couldn't quite take that one. Comes out here, Rob Scanlon couldn't quite pick it up. Richard Tambling now just keeps his feet for long enough to impact the contest. Michael Bowden to McGregor. Inside 50, Eldridge. It comes off hands. Gordon round the corner. Stokes couldn't take it. Michael Bowden, little tap forward. McGregor, Tambling. Kick inside 50. Beautiful handball off. And has Gleeson finished with a goal? He has.
Yes, the inaugural Morris medalist there, kicking his second goal. And while we're on about good players, I haven't seen Matty Pollock out there since for most of the second half. Number 31, he was very, very good in the first half. Must have copped some type of injury, Dave.
No good to hear.
He was a very, very good player in that first half, yeah. Unless I've missed number 31. Very famous name, of course, in the VFL days with Ronald Dale Barassi.
Very true. So 19, 16, 113. It's all academic now. Southern Districts will win. Percentage is their main priority now. As this bounce is recalled.
Yes, a few heads down there on the Darwin side, which is, as I said, disappointing because they've had a terrific year under Mark Motlop, a real development year. In fact, unlucky in some ways to miss out on the finals. They've lost a lot of games by only, three or four goals or less.
Districts inside 50. Oh, good mark is taken. The Eagle has landed once again. And this time he kicks a goal. Goal number 5 for Jason Eagle.
Yes, it's a happy time now for Districts as they pepper the goals against a tiring and somewhat dispirited Buffalo side. Happy time, also known as junk time too, Dave, when they get a lot of easy goals.
136 to 18. So a big win coming up for Southern Districts. As we mentioned just before, it's only a matter of by how much. They're going to go forward again. Gleeson got it off to Staunton, who put it inside 50. No mark taken there by Dingo, who's moved forward. Davin Hall, he went left, he went right, he went back onto the left, and then he found your man, Matt Pollock, back on the ground, Gray.
He is. Well, he must have been getting a rub down, that's all, because I've been seeing a lot of him there in the second half. So maybe they're saving him for next week's blockbuster down at Norbuild Oval. I'm sure Jimmy Dalton and his committee there will be rubbing their hands with glee knowing they've got a big match at Fred's Pass.
In he comes as he squeezes it home. Not quite. Another minor score.
Yes, Jim Dalton, the president down there, has done a terrific job. Very much a crocodile, and very much hoping that his side make an impression, Dave, in the finals.
Well, this is a real confidence booster, you'd feel, for them. They've comprehensively outplayed the Buffaloes today. Staunton up towards Paper Talk, couldn't quite keep it in.
Not since 2007, of course, have we seen the red, black and white flag flying over the top of TIO Stadium. So there's been, that'll be 8 years without a flag this year.
Good tackle from Stokes, forces McGregor out of play.
But have they got the makings to beat the St Mary's and probably your mob, David, the Tiwi Bombers?
My mob, hey, Gray.
And Nycliffe, who knows what Nycliffe are going to do? And of course my mob, the Palmerston Magpies, who are picked to make the grand final. So what an intriguing mix we've got.
Big bump there. Davin Hall ends up with it to Tambling. Awkward kick. It just goes right across the face. Here's Ogden. Kicks inside 50, but there's a whistle.
Is it? Yeah, must have been knocked off the ball after he got rid of it.
So in the end, it's Gleeson that takes the free kick, and he unloads, just missing to the right-hand side.
Might have just been touched, I think, Dave. Otherwise, it would have been a goal.
There you go.
So 5 goals each to Mr. Eagle and Mr. Farah.
Yeah, so it's been a good haul for those two, and a good spread of goal kickers, as you mentioned there, Gray. So 10 goals of the 20 going to the big spearhead forwards. Troy Taylor yet to register a goal. There's a flying shot on goal. I was looking down at the score sheet there.
No, that was Christian Paper Talks, got his second. Yes, as I said, it's junk time now. As they race away here to, what is it now, Dave? Must be a 126 point lead.
When we did the times tables at school grade, they only went up to 12. You only had to know up to 12, so I've got no idea what 21 times 6 would equal.
126, yeah.
There we go.
But yes, certainly a disappointing end to the season, partially because they've got one more game left, the Buffaloes, of course, against Waratahs next week. But it's all a learning curve, as Sean Wilson's been very, very good.
Sleeth. Over towards Antil Reddy. And now Paper Talk. Up towards centre half forward. Eagle comes out to meet it, takes a strong mark on the chest.
Yes, the type of mark that full forwards are supposed to take, in front and forcing his way into the ball. Big lump of a boy. They'll want him to play a pretty important role in the finals too, you'd think, depending on availability.
Well, he's already got 5 today. Kicked 4 of them in about the first 15 minutes. Kicks from right outside 50, and he gives it a ride, but it's well across the face. Minor score.
And we've just been informed by the Tiwi Bombers hierarchy that no Leroy Jetta will be playing tonight for Palmerston. Or Cameron Clark. I don't think Cameron was named anyway, but Aaron Davies in number 36, but unfortunately Leroy is out, and I'm sure the Magpie hierarchy would have been keen on having him back in the side, Dave.
Yeah, it's a big exclusion, so it'll be interesting to see how they match up, Gray. They're a rather balanced side, Palmerston. When you look at them on paper, they've got those talls up forward, but I'm just looking down the Palmerston team sheet, Gray, and I think I may have found a big exclusion here, or a big out, I should say. We'll just keep a look on play. Mark Hamilton doesn't look like he's playing today, Gray.
Gee, that robs their forward line of a couple of marking options in, because Cloak not playing, of course, and now Hamilton.
That's a huge out. Meantime, mark taken by McAdam. He's already kicked one from a similar distance.
Yes, so it might be all uphill for the Magpies, but sometimes in adversity, players put their hands up.
McAdam comes in and he makes no mistake. Great goal there from the young fella. That's goal number 2 for him.
$22 goals, 19. A very good score for districts, particularly when you look at Darwin's 2-6. So what's that? 133 points. Certainly a percentage booster when they needed it. The memories of last Saturday's game, Dave, are becoming very distant.
It is. It's amazing how much can happen in just 1 week of footy, Gray. Suddenly, Southern Districts are staring down second spot if they have results that go their way.
Yes, we're taking it week by week, the coaches tell you, don't they?
Exactly.
Clever tap back there by Big Eagle.
Now Staunton probably bit off more than he could chew there, holding the ball. So a big win coming up here for Southern Districts, and we must reiterate that this has been the entree. The main course is about to be served. Palmerston versus the Tiwi Bombers. What a huge game this promises to be. The speed and pace and excitement of the Tiwi Bombers versus a Palmerston side that boasts some real up-and-coming talent, blended nicely with some AFL experience, headlined by the 2 Davey brothers. Meantime, here's an AFL name, Bowden, up towards the top of the goal square. Eagle didn't take it, gathered at ground level, handballed it off, didn't want to give it to Willie Farah, didn't want him to kick more goals than him. In the end, Davin Hall picks up, but there's a whistle. Woodley will get a free kick. Eldridge. What happened there? Did he just lose his footing? Umpire not paying any 50s or anything. Wide to Cam Stokes. Looks down the line and goes short. Briston. Now Jared Stokes, Eldridge, Philpott I should say, up towards half forward. No mark taken. Cox got it off to McAdam, who got it to Sleeth. Just backwards of the wing. Winds up and kicks a very high ball just forward of centre wing. Real rainmaker that one. Pollock couldn't take it. Spills out of play. 24 minutes gone, final term. Blow the siren, you hear them say from the grandstand. This one's all over. It has been since quarter time.
Yes, the only problem is this is kicked 7 goals, so you think we're going to get 7 minutes of time on here. We've got 4 already. So it means fairly late finish for this blockbuster you've been talking about, Dave.
It does. It will mean that.
Beautiful tap out there by Dingo, was it? Who got it to one of his teammates?
And a mark is taken by Eagle. So the real battle has been up forward for districts to see who will kick more goals out of Willie Farah and Jason Eagle. At the moment, it's a good scoreline, 5-5. This is to put Jason Eagle 6-5 up. He comes in and he does just that. Eagle kicks goal number 6.
Yes, the big fellow. No problems there, found plenty of room on the chest and did what every forward should do, converted. So 23 goals for districts, 42 shots to 8. Probably tells the story of the game.
Well, after quarter time, Gray, the Buffaloes have managed just 1 goal, 2. So I think that says a lot about where they're at, or where they've been at in this match. They've really struggled. Jones over the top. Staunton still running strong to Pollock. Unloads from outside 50 and misses to the right-hand side.
Good thing too for the district's hierarchy is it's been a very even performance from their players. There's been no passengers out there as they warm up for next week's mini qualifying final against Nightcliff.
There is the siren. Finally, the pain comes to an end for the Buffaloes. And in the end, it is Southern Districts winning by an astronomical amount. The final score, 23-20, 158. Southern Districts win by 130 points over the Buffaloes.
In fact,
140 points, I should say. 2-6-18 on AFL NTV. Plenty more action coming up, though. Palmerston versus Tiwi is next. So make sure that if you're on this game, on this browser, switch over, because the main game is about to get underway. The entree has been served. The main course is about to arrive. Palmerston versus the Tiwi Bombers up next on AFL NTV. Make sure you stick with us.